Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today I'm doing a VR to Feeding My Soul. They've got a hashtag called I've got a deck for that. So I'm going to do that one. So the first prompt, which I'll link all below, is a deck that represents your favorite movie genre. And I don't really have a favorite movie genre. Actually, where did I put that deck? Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, so this might be a slightly chaotic video because I forgot the very first deck, so I'm off to a good start. What I was trying to say was I don't really have one specific favorite genre, and I don't watch a lot of TV and movies. I tend to watch an eclectic variety of things, and I do like things that are a little bit weird and things that make the poetic out of real life. And so, ooh, that was upside down. For this one, I've got the Somnia Tarot, because I do think it is a sort of visual poetry, this deck. And, what was that movie called? There's a movie I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the name, but I can picture it. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. I hate it when that happens. Anyway, it's just sort of a day in the life of two ordinary people. But it's beautiful. It's a bit odd in that, you know, you don't expect a captivating movie to be so poetic, but it is. And this one's a bit strange, this deck, undeniably. And I do like quirky sort of movies as well, like ones that are a bit not quite like everything else. Because there's a lot of things that are the same out there. And so I like it when things try something a bit different, even if it doesn't always work, which it doesn't always. Sometimes it's terrible, but at least they made an effort at something a bit different. And I used to find this deck really off-putting. And now I don't know if I'm used to it. I mean, the imagery is beautiful. And the occasional card is downright sweet, even if the cloaks around people's faces are a bit strange. But yeah, I really don't find it as off-putting as I used to, and the composition of the images is really intentional and stunning. Like, it's a beautifully done deck. Nicholas Bruno put a lot of thought and work into this one. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I love it. So, yeah, this is my favorite genre-ish. I do like things that are a bit whimsical as well, and I'll watch the odd superhero movie, but I don't have a superhero deck. In lieu of a superhero deck, what do I have? I have Tarot of the Divine, because it is a bit whimsical and it's a bit folktale-ish. And ooh, I've got cards flying out of the book and everything. Good. This is going so well. Because yeah, it's a bit quirky. It's got its quirky side, and it's very whimsical in the sense that it's folk tales and stories about some deities, some fairy tales. You know, superheroes, but maybe, you know, like the 2,000 years ago versions of superheroes. So this is sort of my other movie genre deck. Alright, the next question is a deck that represents your favorite movie. And I don't have an Apollo 13 deck or anything that would really work for that, because that would be number one. So the next best option is the Lord of the Rings Tarot. This is an indie deck by S.A. Fikes. It's just got this little pamphlet-y guidebook thing, and it's an Etsy deck, or a deck on Etsy, I guess I should say. But it's really well done, and it's not exactly the movie characters, but like you can tell that that's Eowyn and Theoden from the movies, you know, and Saruman. So it doesn't look exactly like the actors, but that's obviously the Light of Galadriel. You know, like you can just tell certain things. There's Theoden again, not doing so well, under the influence of Saruman and Wormtongue. And I love The Lord of the Rings. I've read it several times. I've listened to it now once in French. I missed a lot because it's a bit too hard for me in French, but a fair bit. I'd have to look this up. I can't remember what that is. But it's really well thought out. Like, you know, the odd time maybe I'd make a different choice, but on the whole, it's really good. I like all these choices. And there are a few characters, like Eowyn's mother, who aren't in the movie, but are in the books, that make an appearance here in this deck. So that's kind of fun. And it's just very, I don't know, it's beautiful. I love it. But I love the books, and I love the movie. Oh, Pippin getting into trouble. So yeah, that'll have to do for my favorite movie. I mean, it's my second favorite movie probably of all time. It's just not Apollo 13. Okay, number 3 is a deck that represents your favorite color. And that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because holy purple. I love purple. I've edged it in purple, which might be purple overkill for a lot of people, but I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. It's such a fun deck. And oh, my cloth here is getting a little bubbly. Oh well. So much purple, and this sort of pinkish reddish color. I love it. I love the purple. I don't have enough purple in my life. That makes me laugh. Yeah, I need more purple. Just as a general rule. Anyway, this deck makes me smile, and it's purple. So, yes, please. I know the guidebook has issues, but I never use the guidebook, so whatever. Oh, come on. Next is a deck that represents your childhood self. Okay, so I was not a happy child. I was kind of a miserable child. But I did do a lot of 2 things. One was playing outside and like talking to trees and collecting baskets of pine cones in my fort under the spruce tree and, you know, things like that. And the other was reading. So I picked the Darkwood Tarot because it's not exactly cheerful. What is going on here with my cloth? It's driving me a bit bananas. There we go. It is very storybook. Speaking of which, maybe I should do that picture book tag, but I haven't yet, but maybe someday. Anyway, it's very storybook, but it's also quite a bit darker than some other storybook type decks. And I was just, yeah, in my head a lot and not very happy. So I've got the mini, plus I really like collecting things. I collected all sorts of things as a kid. Rocks, and I mean, I still do. Feathers and whatever. And I like little things. So this one works for me. But also the Literary Witches Oracle. Now I have dismantled this deck a little bit. So it came with a whole bunch of cards that were like a broom and a cauldron, and it was just a picture of a broom or a drawing of a broom, and I didn't like it at all. So I've taken those cards out to make collages with, and just left in the pictures of authors, and it's all women from all around the world, and they're fantastic. I love these images. They're beautiful. And I like the keywords that go with them and the little guidebook entries. It's fantastic. I wish the whole deck was just literary witches. That would be amazing. But anyway, yes, I'd spent, like, from the minute I learned how to read, I constantly had my nose in a book. And I haven't read all of these authors yet. I should do something about that. I've toyed with the idea of doing like a card a month pull or something, and then reading that author that month until I get through all of them. She's a Russian poet that I really like, Anna Akhmatov. I love Virginia Woolf. Yeah, it's a good deck. I enjoy it, and I'm a geeky, bookish person, as anybody who's watched any of my videos has probably worked out for themselves by now. So that is the Literary Witches Oracle. And those two represent my childhood self. Now the next question is decks that represent your teenage self. And basically, my teenage self was, oh, the Literary Witches was supposed to be for my teenage self. Whoops. Well, there we go. You've seen one of them already. The other one, because this is when depression really started to take hold, is the Tarot de Passage Intérieur, because, yeah, sometimes the inside of my head is a sort of cold, dark place. It's a very strange place to be. If I could figure it out, I would. Several therapists have not been able to, so it's all kinds of an adventure. But yeah, I did, from junior high to university, was, oh, there's the title card, the worst of my depression. I mean, it'll, I think, always be a thing that's with me, but that's when it was the worst. So this is my teenage, early 20s self. It also reminds me a little bit of home, because Saskatchewan in the winters just kind of sometimes look like that. And I don't actually mind that. It's oddly comforting to me at this point, that sort of landscape. The next question, carrying on in sort of this vein, is a deck that represents your adult self. So, I won't go into psychiatry any further, but hobbies wise, I've got the Witch Sisters, which is out of its box and everything, because it's part of the Lisa Pepez's members deck study at the moment. As I'm filming this video might go up quite a lot later than I'm filming it, who knows. But in the last few years, I've really gotten into witchier things, and also just trying to learn about, you know, pre-Christian beliefs, folklore, connecting with plants and the earth a bit more. Yeah, and this deck is beautiful and powerful and defiant, which I can be sometimes when I have to be. So yeah, that's that one. And then the other one, related to getting to know plants, is the Herb Crafter's Tarot, which is, I probably won't pull it out quite yet because, do we have snow on the ground still? It might be evaporated now, or melted, evaporated. It's very dry here. But yeah, this deck is beautiful and I love it, and I've gotten to know a lot of these plants. Like, I've got yarrow and plantain and echinacea growing in my living room at the moment as seedlings, raspberry on my balcony. Witch hazel hasn't germinated yet. I don't have this one. I do have some rapidly growing motherwort. It's a vigorous sort of plant I've discovered. Bee balm I've got. Nasturtiums haven't germinated this year. Not sure what's up with that. Chamomile has. I don't have linden, and I haven't gotten sweetgrass to grow, but it lives around here apparently. Oregano I have. Calendula I have and love. If I could find an elder tree near me, I'd be very happy. But I don't, so I get it from a herbal store. Alfalfa, yeah, there's lots of that around. And lemon balm. I love lemon balm. It's such a beautiful plant. Mallow I don't have, but marshmallow I have, and I always get them mixed up, so that's fun. Maybe I should grow both at the same time one year, just to see the difference. Horsetail. I should make myself some horsetail tea soon. It's good in the spring. That would be nice. So anyway, sidetracked by plants, which is actually kind of the story of my adult life. Books and plants these days. Okay, a deck that represents your favorite song or musical genre. I tend to mostly listen either, where can I put these here, to classical music or soundtracks. I worked at the opera for a long time, and I like listening to things while I'm working, but if they don't have words, then I'll get less distracted by them. But even if I'm out for a walk or something, I might listen to soundtracks or classical music, and I enjoy it. And to me, the Margaret Peterson is a bit like it's a bit instrumental. You have to, the words, there are no words to tell you what it means other than the titles. You have to feel what it means. And I feel like that this deck, you know, does that. There are no lyrics really, but there's a lot of feeling. And intuition, and yeah, I love this deck. The next one is a deck that represents your favorite book genre, and I won't pull them out again, but my favorite genres tend to be like literary fiction from around the world and history, so I guess I would pick the literary witches for that again, and then plant books. And I'm not going to pull out the herb crafters. I've got a lot of plant oracles though. Number 9 is a deck that represents your favorite TV show, past or present. So I used to love watching Alias. That was a fantastic TV show. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't watch Buffy when it came out because it would have been considered like evil or something. But I love that one. And the other TV show I love, which I've got to catch up on because I'm a touch behind, is Doctor Who. And I have made myself a very slapdash sort of Doctor Who deck. It's not very, like, I'm not a photo editing person, so the images are just what I could find. Some of them are not very high quality, but I had a very clear like picture of a moment. So if I was able to make a deck that had, you know, like chocolate frogs in Harry Potter or something where the images can move, then that's what these cards would be. They'd be a moment, a vignette, not quite a scene, but like a little moment from the show. Yeah. And yeah, some of them are kind of blurry. And this one I couldn't figure out how to make it, like get a background in there and make it not look funny, but it's a certain person or a certain moment in time in the show. So yeah, I like it. It's cute. It's fun. I love this show. It doesn't have the classic episodes represented. It's 9 to 13. This was one of my favorites. Yeah, I love Doctor Who. If I had enough space and enough money, I'd pay somebody to build a Doctor Who bookshelf that I've seen, where it's the TARDIS, but when you open up the doors, it's a bookcase. I'd totally do that. Yeah, would totally. And then fill it with all the books that are ever mentioned in the show, because it is quite a bookish show, actually. So yeah, that's my really geeky Doctor Who. Oh, there is one or two Torchwood moments as well. My Doctor Who deck. Oops, wrong box. All right, number 10 is a deck that represents your favorite pastime or hobby. And that could be a lot of things. I like reading, as I've said, plants, gardening, crochet, although I haven't done a lot of crochet lately, and collage. I really like collage. And I've been getting back into making collages lately, but also getting into collage decks. And one of my favorites at the moment is the Craft Decadence. It's so good. It's by La Green Witch and NYX Tarot. And it does have this little card of sort of who's who, if there are images of people or artwork featured in it. It does have those. I have it in this little bag because the box was a bit too wonky. Cards kept falling out. But the keywords are really good, or the key phrases, I guess. And the imagery is it's captivating and intriguing and sometimes really weird, and I like it. We've got some Nikola Tesla here. I don't know who all these people are, and I don't really care if I don't know who they are. Sometimes I look them up in that little pamphlet, but not always. But yeah, it's really fun, and I enjoy making collages too, just for fun sometimes. Yeah, this is a weird one, but it's a good one. I like it a lot. I don't know what's going on with this guy's face, but yeah. So that's the deck for my favorite pastime or hobby. The next one is a deck that represents your favorite holiday or dream destination. I do want to get the Hafiz Tarot sometime, because some of the places I'd love to go are in the Middle East and North Africa, and I think Hafiz was Iranian, and I would love to go to Iran someday. If the current government ever gets toppled, which, I mean, I wouldn't object, and it became safer for women, I would totally go visit Iran. That would be, their literary tradition is incredible. All of the arts there are just stunning. I would love to. My favorite holiday, though, is Christmas. And so last year at Christmas, because I don't have a Christmas tarot deck, there were a couple that I was considering, and then I ended up getting this Yuletide Tarot because I like it and it was in my budget. And if I can stick to my budget, that's a good thing. Two of Good Cheer. So the suits are renamed to be, you know, festive. And it's just cute. Yeah, I like it. It's just, I don't know what to say about it. It's a Christmassy deck. I like Christmas. It's fun. Don't know why she's barefoot in the snow, but there we are. So that's my favorite holiday. A deck to represent the decade you were born. Okay, so if I had the Voyager Tarot, that would be it, because I was born in the 80s. I don't. I do want to get it one of these days. But the closest thing I've got is one that was made in the 90s, and that is the Osho Zen Tarot, but I got a fake by accident. I didn't get it on purpose. Because I didn't, when I was first getting into tarot, I didn't know there were fake decks, and there are a lot of them now. It's getting really out of hand. And so I haven't really used this a lot. I've got a different Roots of Asia tarot that's more the Buddhist sort of tarot that I prefer to this one. So I tend to use that one if I want a tarot with a Buddhist or that sort of worldview. But this one is interesting. Like, I like it, but I don't know if I've ever actually read with it. I've just worked through it a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know. This may leave, or I may, sometimes with decks that I'm not sure I'm gonna keep, I may use these cards as the backing for like mini collages someday. That may be the fate of this one. Anyway, in lieu of the Voyager Tarot, which is on my wish list, this is the closest I can get. And I don't really have any decks that are 80s in style, I don't think. A deck that represents your favorite flower. That's difficult because I like all of them. Seriously, I like so many. So I've got the Soul Flower Plant Spirit Oracle. And I do love milk thistle. I actually grow thistle, and milk thistle specifically, not Canada thistle, because that's invasive and annoying. Milk thistle has medicinal properties though, and dandelions. I grow. There's dandelion in here, I think. Pansies are one of my favorites. I love pansies. They're so beautiful. Echinacea. Dandelion. Dandelions are also one of my favorites. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I adore dandelions. They're so cute and cheerful, and they just bring me so much joy. And the whole thing is edible, like flower to root. I also really like wild roses specifically. Like any kind of roses I like, but wild roses are special to me. They do grow natively around here in just all sorts of places. Yeah, love them. A deck that represents your favorite scent. Okay, so if it's not floral, which, I mean, I do like the smell of certain flowers. And I'm not a big perfume person, like I just don't know much about it. I've thought about learning more about it, but I haven't. But if there were any decks for like chocolate or freshly baked bread, I would pick those. In lieu of that, I've gone with the Guardian of the Night Tarot, because there's something about how this feels where I imagine, I don't know what I imagine the smell would be like, but for some reason this just felt like the deck for this. A little dark chocolatey or spicy or something. I don't know. I do love this deck. I use it a lot in the fall. And sometimes in the winter when it's really dark out. It's so interesting. And it's funny, when I first started getting into tarot, I didn't think I'd like MJ Cullinan. I actually didn't think I'd like collage decks, which is weird because I like collage. But yeah, I've gotten to like this deck quite a lot. Yep. So whatever scent this represents would be my favorite, I think. I do tend to like deeper, darker things like sandalwood and myrrh and things. Okay, a deck that represents your favorite food. Ditto. Bread. I could never go off gluten because I love bread. But also chocolate. That would never work. But one of my favorite things is farmers market fruit and vegetables. It's just incredible. So for that, I picked the Song of the Grandmothers. Because every time, and I'm really hoping that sometime soon this spring, I got the hiccups now, that's fantastic. The farmers market opens up near me again. They did a trial run last year in a couple locations, and I'm really hoping they stick around because that was incredible. And I could just walk home from work and get some fresh raspberries, and it was the most fantastic thing. I loved it so much. And this deck makes me think of that. It's just vibrant and colorful and delicious. Also, violets are delicious. I've never eaten an oak acorn, but I think you can. Salmon, very tasty. Dandelion, delicious. So anyway, this would be the deck that represents my favorite food. And then the next one is a deck that represents your favorite beverage. And I don't know if I'm a boring beverage person. Some people may think so because I don't really do a lot of alcoholic beverages. I do a lot of water and I do a lot of tea. I do like tea a lot. So I've got Sea Soldier's Oracle. This is the one I picked for that because it's so water focused. And it's gotten a bit of a diagonal warp here. I might have to try and work that out of it. I do live in a very dry climate, so sometimes I think if decks come from somewhere not so dry and then end up here, they can end up warping a bit just because of that. Not necessarily because something is wrong with them, but it does feel like these ones already feel less warped, so I think probably I could work that out. Anyway, I like this deck. It's got a keyword and then a blessing for every picture. And it's beautiful, and I don't live anywhere near the ocean. I'm incredibly landlocked on the prairies, in fact. And it's so dry here. It's ridiculous how dry it is. And we're going into yet another drought year, so even more dry. So sometimes just the feel of water is what I need. And you do have to drink a lot of water when you live here, because it's like the water just gets sucked right out of your skin. It gets sucked right out of your eyeballs. It's really ridiculous how dry it is. So yeah, this is, anyway, sidetracked. The idea was a deck that represents your favorite beverage. And if I'm not drinking water, I'm drinking tea, or occasionally fruit juice, sometimes with like ginger ale or something, but usually it's water and tea is my go-to. And I have like 2 giant containers full of teas, so I have enough to keep me going for a while. That's beautiful. So anyway, those are my responses to I've got a deck for that. So thanks to Feeding My Soul. I'll link her down below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.